Rob, which can make sense because that character has a more at top level had a more consistent matchup into Toon Link than Wolf. Wolf, at most levels of play has pretty consistent, but highest level echelon of play that Jude is able to achieve, uh, using the max spacing of that. But we're actually going straight into this set between Glutamate and Obmcbob.
Absolutely. Getting started with some neutral and actually going to lead to an advantage state pretty quickly for Glutamate. Going for the nairs, getting a quick grab, and actually going to follow up with the up airs out of that. Going to go for the down smash, as we mentioned earlier, trying to stall out trying to predict some of Obmcbob's movement, but he's going to air dodge far enough away to avoid it. Coming back to the other side of the stage, the chain grab coming out from Obmcbob, going to send Glutamate off stage again, actually going to be able to get some damage off of the fire, and then coming back to the side of to the middle of the stage rather, utilization of the boomerang rather in order to extend some of his damage. The nair is coming out from Glutamate and into the up air, into the nair actually, and then just sort of trying to extend some of this damage as much as possible. Right over the down smash though, going to utilize the bucket in order to send that boomerang right back from where it came.
Yeah, a big part of Obmcbob's spacing, we saw it a lot in his set versus Jackal, is counter poking that the backwards 45-3 with Z-drop bomb there, and using the max space in the nair to clip out his opponent's movement, and that's really been where he's getting a lot of his early percent. And once he kind of gets that early lead, he can start playing around up till max space boomerang and just kind of letting you kind of fall into his lingering hitbox.
Absolutely. So wonderful observation there, Hunk. Actually, coming back to this side of the stage, you can see it's going to be the back air coming out from Glutamate that's going to seal out the first stock to him.
Yeah, that Glutamate, despite having such a tricky time landing and finding his opening, he was able to realize how advantaged he was in that situation. It's like, oh, I can just Rising Bear, and worst case I fade away. Obmcbob a little too antsy on the trigger, ends up playing right where Glutamate wants him. As we're seeing in this current position is that once Glutamate kind of figures out that you're no longer willing to kind of play his game of chicken, he gets these huge like 70 plus percent advantage states where he can then chip you out and still throw forward airs.
Right, for sure. And then the spin attack coming out, the grounded spin attack from Obmcbob, not going to do anything just yet against Glutamate's shield, but you can see him going to jump in and actually going to get the up smash. As you mentioned earlier, Hunk, it was Obmcbob who was being a little too overzealous with spacing and just running in, and yet again with the down smash, just sort of chipping away to his percentage, just as you had said earlier, finding himself off stage against the back airs yet again coming out from Glutamate. Obmcbob able to avoid the down smash this time, coming back in, trying to avoid the chef, missing the fair, and then coming back with the down air, the down tilt from Glutamate, not able to get anything just yet, but that combo, the extension from him being able to get the boomerang and then into the, I think that was a dash attack, coming out from Glutamate, able to really extend that so effectively for him.
And those situations come out from Glutamate recognizing that Obmcbob as a player has always prided himself on his ability to reversal and to turnstile and flip any sort of situation. We saw it there as he did 2 high bears and immediately just went off stage, went back on the stage. And a lot of this playing, he's much rather than risk a coin flip where he can potentially lose his straight up stock, only maybe taking his opponent's stock, he'd much rather have a guaranteed advantaged situation where it's like, all right, I still have the corner, or I'm still very horizontal, so I can access the shield pretty quickly, or I can down B and not have to commit to like a floaty or down B. I can just land on the stage. And it's a very good piece of awareness coming out from Glutamate.
Absolutely. Speaking of awareness, you did just see Obmcbob able to time out the up smash from Glutamate and actually able to get a back air over it. Now, that could be more relevant later, but it's definitely going to be an issue as he's struggling to recover, able to come back with the spin attack, and now finding himself on the left side of the stage against Glutamate. Glutamate going to go for the nair and actually going to get the grab, coming back in on this other side of the stage, getting the spin attack yet again, and Glutamate just trying to look for this advantage state, actually going to get the grab through the chain grab, and then Obmcbob utilizing that chain yet again to recover to this side of the stage. Going to get another grab, sending him off stage again at 177%. Full rage, but not enough to kill. And it's actually going to be the up smash, though, that is going to seal out this game number 1 for Glutamate against Obmcbob.
And that's where we just see Glutamate's reliance on taking space and consistently maximizing how advantaged he's in a scenario. We saw a lot first the Lipton set where he, if he didn't get the ledge trap, he maintained the stage position. Same with this, we saw 2 stocks of it. We saw him take the dash attack and now take the up smash in the corner, whereas he knew that, like, look, I'm fighting a floaty character who doesn't have the best boxing tools. If I stay under this platform, I can just, by my sheer existing and not committing to anything, I can wall off his position and just play a reactionary game. And that's where he's really been taking it, that he just is constantly putting himself at these positions where Obmcbob is forced to make a decision, and Glutamate can just back off if he needs to.
For sure, and speaking of being forced to make a decision, it seems to be that Glutamate has finally started getting a little too greedy with some of these options, and he has been caught twice with the grounded spin attack from Obmcbob. Obmcbob trying his best to follow up with some of the damage, but the back air is coming out from Glutamate as he is trying absolutely to hold his spacing. Now, coming back underneath this upper platform, both of them just trying, so Glutamate going for the fairs, and then Obmcbob actually going to be able to follow that up with an up air of his own, going to seal out the first stock for himself of this game.
Yeah, this is starting to actually look like a huge player habit command for Glutamate, where when he takes that first game, or he takes that first life lead, he wants to try to extend it. It's like, oh, okay, I have this life lead, now it's time to play. And in both the Lipton set and in what we're seeing now in this set is that he needs to realize, like, okay, I've lost the stock, it's back to chip kill, and playing for time. And it might be a reoccurring theme of his sets today, where it's a lot of get that first game, overextend, and then now you have to play from the back foot for the next 5 minutes.
For sure, and that's something that I really do hope that he picks up on quickly. Going for this back air off stage, still going to get the spin attack. Coming back in under this upper platform, it's going to be Obmcbob who's staying there with the bomb, and actually, what a wonderful timing there from Glutamate, waiting out the spin attack yet again, something that Obmcbob has been using in succession, and then able to go with the charged up smash right where he needed it in order to take that stock.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like so many players, like, they try to beat out the up B. It's like you just gotta wait for it. It has like -25 to -33 about. It's like you have a whole half second to punish it, so you can use your time once it's done spinning. But so many players, get kind of antsy and they end up releasing that shield a little bit too early. But we can see now, Glutamate starting to go for his plan B. He's trying to actually plan A that's working, is playing for that positional advantage and using those platforms as a way to section off Obmcbob's angles of attack.
Absolutely. As you can see here, able to get that started with the up airs coming out, not able to get much off of it as Obmcbob was able to land, but Glutamate going to sit and shield a little too long and finding himself off stage thanks to Obmcbob. Able to recover then, utilization of the fire, and then the fairs coming out from Glutamate. It's not, oh, okay, wonderful conversion into the down tilt, and then actually going to go way deep off stage in order to get the stock. So, wonderful utilization as he was able to really utilization of that aerial specifically in order to limit Obmcbob's options as much as possible.
Yeah, and that's a multi-stock conditioning coming out, where a lot of the times, as I said, Glutamate wants to play around where it's like, okay, I ain't the edge guard right near the ledge, let me reset and play, play for the ledge trap right into the edge guard. But he used all that time that Obmcbob's like, okay, I can go for a low recovery, and if he whiffs, he's just gonna try to ledge trap me, which is something I can force a coin for. rather than having to take a direct kill. And Glutamate used that against Obmcbob and actually finally committed, went all the way down there and took a stock where he can now get a huge momentum thing coming out.
Absolutely. Coming in over the down smash, utilization of the chain, of the Zair rather, from Obmcbob. Going to come in under this upper platform, trying to find something, but unfortunately going to find the down smash on that upper platform. Trying to use the chain to recover and actually going to go for the spin attack. Able to avoid the up smash from Glutamate. However, coming back in and trying to use the boomerang in order to sort of stall out some of his movement from Glutamate. Able to send him higher with the up air, and now Glutamate using the fire to recover, air dodging away in order to try to avoid another up air from Obmcbob, and it's not going to lead to very much just yet.
Yeah, and Obmcbob actually, he started playing to Glutamate strikes almost, where he was waiting at that ledge, he used the up throw, using a floaty full hop to try to catch a near dodge on a platform with like a lingering up air, or the fair would end up swinging in that advantage state. But Glutamate, using the flight advantage of his additional resources that he afforded at playing Game & Watch, to barely outtime Obmcbob. Obmcbob drops the ledge trap and is able to win the subsequent scramble center stage.
For sure, coming into this game number 3, Hong, there's going to be some adaptations needed to be made. The down smash into the F smash coming out from Glutamate, and then yet another down smash as he's able to send Obmcbob all the way to the other side of the stage. And it is actually going to be the first stock of the game going to Glutamate very quickly.
Yeah, very early stock in that. A lot of the times we normally see it about the 1 minute pass mark, maybe a minute 12 is where the stock is taken. This is actually the first sub 30 stock he's taken today, which is a huge meta call coming out from Glutamate, realizing that Obmcbob is now he's down 2-0. He just lost a last hit situation off of a missed ledge trap. He's trying to overextend and really catch Glutamate off his feet and become swept up in the Bob shuffle, but he's not quite getting it.
Alright, the up air is actually going to be what gets the first stock on the board for Obmcbob. Coming back in from this other side of the stage, he's going to catch another up air out of the fire from Glutamate. Glutamate coming back in with some of these fairs, going for the bear and actually going to be able to reflect the boomerang, but not able to hit Obmcbob with it. Going to go for the grab out of the shield from Obmcbob, and then able to send him away with some up airs. Not able to get any more off of it. It's going to be the up tilt, but not anything else from Obmcbob coming out. Trying to go for the F tilt at the stage, knowing that he wants something off of this disadvantage state from Glutamate. Glutamate landing with the Adair into the up B, and then able to get some up airs and just continue to pile on this damage against Obmcbob. Obmcbob finding himself in an unfavorable position at the center of the stage, and then that dash attack coming out from Glutamate, able to send him to the other side at like way past full rage. Still not able to get the stock just yet, but you can see Obmcbob sort of running away in order to try to find the best positioning possible in order to get some of his confirms, but it's actually not going to be the stock just yet. Obmcbob finding himself off stage, trying to avoid as much of the bacon as possible from Glutamate, able to come in and avoid the F tilt still. Glutamate coming down with the nair, able to get the pummel into the grab, and it's going to be the up throw at 204% that takes yet another stock on the board for Glutamate.
Yeah, not quite a common kill move, but a kill move nonetheless is that up throw, and that's a big thing, is that Obmcbob is trying to play around this 60 degree, because he doesn't want to be, like, it's hard to be even at like 45 degrees, because that's where Glutamate kind of wants him. Like when he's at those high percents, you start playing for the back air, like the max space back air to not get the landing hit, you start playing around forward air, so you have to play at that max range, and it's a really tough position to be on as Toon, because he doesn't really have that range advantage like most other short characters do. Even his other incarnations are a little bit more effectively able to use the maximum spacing of their sword to get the rewards they need.
Absolutely. Coming back into this Oh, I'm so sorry. My stream is something weird with it. Would you mind keep talking?
Yeah, no problem. All right, so we have him at this ledge position. Does finally get the up B out of the shield. I really like the max distance he drifts in, and then since he's at the top distance of that up air, he's able to use all of his floatiness to get back to the platform. Glutamate wasn't able to punish because of that, but now it's getting through, weaves in through the bacon ledge trap. Now it all comes down to, can you get this reset and play around these, for the platforms. It's all about maintaining that positional advantage, because you have that up there bomb, you have that lingering up air, and as we saw, up to up air is one of the big ways to swing stocks from Obmcbob.
Absolutely coming in with the bombs in order to try to get another ledge trap situation. Going to be sent off stage with the back air and actually going to be able to avoid most of the bacon, but coming back too quickly, not able to avoid the down smash from Glutamate in a 3-0 fashion. Glutamate going to be moving on to winners grands.
And that just comes down to the fact that Glutamate is able to play such a safer, more consistent end game. Every end game position, even stock 2 was actually the beginning of the end game position was Obmcbob favored. Is that he always played to an out in a position that he can minimize the risk. So even when he was wrong on his call, it never really